Alright, well it's 1 o'clock, so welcome to the quite interesting quiz. It's simply fun to present some fun facts, but a bit interactive, so we thought we'd present it in the form of a quiz. So it's okay if you don't know the answers at all, you're not supposed to know the answers. It's more of like an excuse to actually talk about certain topics. It's mostly about canon and My Little Pony Generation 4 lore, some G5 in there too, which you might have missed. It's mostly from the comics. If you have a phone to write down your answers to your scores, you can. It's not like formal score keeping or anything, but in case you want to join, if you get a question right, just give yourself 3 points in your head, write it down, or don't. It's here for fun. We only have 1 hour, so I took the liberty to chop things up in a couple of different categories for things you might want to know about, talk about. I don't know if we can cover everything in 1 hour. So just to start things off, does anyone have a category they want to talk about, learn more about, have questions about? Just say right up front. Pick a category so we can start.
Future.
The future, alright. So we're starting out with future events already. Skipping G4 for a bit, but going straight into G5. In G5, the comic book actually started out with the cast getting lost in the woods and encountering the Gate of the Ancients. Does anyone know what's behind the Gate of the Ancients? You can take a moment to answer. I saw one hand coming out.
Ancient Cantaloupe.
Yeah, did you read the comics? Did you read the books?
I've read this one in particular.
This one in particular. Well, if you had Ancient Cantaloupe, it is indeed Ancient Cantaloupe. The Unity crystals got stolen, so they go out and about to try to find the culprit or whomever it is. And they do find the ruins of Ancient Cantaloupe, which is now in Generation 5 timeline, completely in ruins, nothing more. Well, as they explore the ruins, they do manage to find the crystal thief. Does anyone have an idea who took the crystals? Not you. Be better if you don't know, actually. You get a bonus if you don't know, and you can generate an answer that's like interesting, just make something up, that's okay as well. I saw one hand going up.
Discord.
Did you read the comics as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're cheating. I was hoping that those people. No, actually, it is Discord. He's still going about in the Generation 5 time. Who all read the comics, by the way? Yeah, he aged quite a bit. But before we go on, who read the comics? 1, 2, 3. Is the Mr. Anubis here as well?
Yep.
That's you.
Yep.
Great. So, maybe there are some things in here that are too weird for you, but then
If it goes for the comics, probably not. For the comics, I probably know.
the art comics, the art books as well?
A bit. Not as deep as the comics.
Okay, well then, if you want to know more, he's going to host the comic book panel tomorrow.
Yep.
So I'm just quickly touching upon the topics and the subjects here.
I'm just here to do, I'm gonna check here what you talk about so that I can adjust tomorrow, so that I can go into some details or get into the other stuff that wasn't mentioned here.
Yeah, but there's only 3 people who read the comics, so I think most of it should be new for everyone. Indeed, he is still alive, going well. If you want to know the full stories, visit his panel tomorrow, we can talk about it. But as the movie suggests, there was a period where the tribes were divided again. It was due to magic. You know, the unicorns had magic, they thought they were better, then they got started fights with Pegasi, with the other ponies, everybody split up again, and Discord is like, I don't want that to happen again, now that Unity Crystals is restored again, now that magic is back, right? And if you've seen the movie, magic is back, Discord is afraid that it's going to happen again, there will be fights again, there will be wars again, there will be whatever again. He wants it to, he wants to undermine it, prevent it. And in case you were wondering, yes, he was very sad when Fluttershy died. The comics do go into that for a bit. It's very sad moments. They're very sad.
The moment where everyone cried.
Everyone, it is. It was like super sad. They really go on to it. But so yeah, in the future, the G4 lore is not forgotten. Canterlot's still there, albeit in ruins. Discord is still alive. Who knows where they're going with that? For our next question, who can map? I mean, we've all done this in our head, right? Who can map the G5 cast to their G4 counterparts? Who wants to give it a go? It should be fairly obvious, except for one maybe. You want to give it a go? Yeah. So we start out with.
Well, I know Izzy's with Pinky Pie.
Is it Pinky? Okay.
Complete left one with Rarity.
Pip on Rarity, okay.
The second left with, I think Fluttershy because he's an animal person.
That's interesting you say that actually.
And completely right with Rainbow Dash.
Okay, who disagrees with Annie?
There is a debate that Hitch could also be the counterpart to Applejack, because Misty is not a counterpart to Fluttershy, but that's a little questionable. Both is possible, but it's not really a decisive.
Just a mix between them, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, in the cover art of like the
cover,
ninth issue of they matched they chose to match in the like you said they chose to match Applejack to Hitch.
Hitch has character traits from Applejack, but also character traits from Fluttershy.
Exactly.
Mostly the connection to the animals, while he has this responsibility that Applejack had.
Yeah. So it's not. I'm actually happy you made that mistake because it's he talks to animals, right? So it's a very
Yeah, I only
very
saw
easy
the
one.
movie, so I didn't.
Sorry?
I only saw the movie.
yeah. Oh, that's perfect. So that's why he talks to animals, right? He must be the counterpart. No, they depict him as the counterpart of Applejack. You're getting called a nerd already. All right. I did not have that much on future events because that's still ongoing. It should not do this. That's should definitely bring us back to the. Yeah, there we are. All right. Check the time. Anyone with a different category?
Villains.
Villains, yeah, popular, very popular choice. A lot of characters are, by the way, very randomly chosen because a lot of stories you can place nearly anywhere, but gotta make a division somewhere.
The sorting is very annoying.
It's completely arbitrary.
I tried to sort some stuff for my panel, and I'm probably gonna wing it anyways because the sorting was too annoying to do because everything fits in so many different categories.
If a villain has a family relation, you put in family or you put in villain. But this is a common fun fact. Most people shouldn't know this, but if you didn't read the comics, you actually wouldn't. What species is Sombra, actually? Anyone want to give it a go? Yes.
The first one?
The Umbrum, yeah. Do you know the Umbrum? Do you know the species? Wild
I
Bass?
think I read the comic. And remember that he isn't a pony.
You are indeed correct. He is not a pony. He's a living shadow. It's called the, what?
No.
We're going to chime in. I mean, we're going to chime in by all guests.
You don't want to hear this one.
The Umbrum, they actually ruled the Crystal Empire once. They burned the homes of the ponies, of the crystal ponies who lived there, crushed their homes, did everything. Wrong, their codes faded, they became completely loveless and they lost their magic. They become completely cruel and unfeeling. Little fun fact, maybe you know this as well, but what about Chrysalis and the Umbrum?
Yeah, Chrysalis met the Umbrum in her past. She came around to the Crystal Empire while the Umbrum were ruling it, and she said that there was no love in the Empire while they ruled, and just straight up left again because she didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. So when in later comics the Umbrum come back, and when Chrysalis learns of the plan that Sombra wants to release the Umbrum upon Canterlot once again, she's basically like, okay, well then I'm out. She takes the whole hive, leaves again because she's like, they are loveless. I can't feed of them, so I'm going to be out. But yeah, no, you were right. He is indeed an Umbrum, not a
Yes, correctly.
not a pony. He was actually, Sombra was created to destroy the Crystal Heart and to set free the Umbram, who were trapped in below the Crystal Empires. And when his dormant powers awakened, he first thinks he's a Spomy, later on his Umbram power awakens. He embraces destiny, he steals the Crystal Heart. Well, you know, you've seen the movie, you've seen the events unfold. But in the past, he turns also Princess Amor into a crystal statue and then scatters the statue, indirectly killing Mia Morcadenza, which is, I believe, a grandmother of...
This is just Princess Amore und Cadence
Cadence
is
is the
Miyamoto.
direct daughter of Amor.
We don't know, but it's implied.
It's implied. Okay, I thought there were some descendants and there's some lines.
Radiant Hope, the other pony that is in that same storyline, mentions that Cadence magic is the same as Princess Amore's. And since Cadence was just found as a filly, the common theory is that she is a descendant of Princess Amore.
She's a descendant for sure, yeah, but not directly.
Pretty sure, but
Doctor
we don't have any confirmation.
or- But we do have confirmation for us definitely that Sombra killed the original Mia Morcadenza. And that's a fun one. In the answers there were like 2 more species, which part of multiple choice. Does anyone know what an Orthros and a Tentibus are? They are actually in the show.
Yeah.
Back row. I haven't heard back row yet.
I remember the Tantibus was like the nightmare creature in like Luna's dream or whatever.
Very well. And it is that is the episode where Luna
Do
creates.
princesses dream of magic shape or whatever?
Exactly. She creates this nightmare creature to torture herself for her evil deeds.
I'm not. I know there are some creatures on the moon in the frenemies. I'm not sure how they're called, but they exist.
Very good
Yeah.
guess. It could have been. That's not the Orthros. That's not the creature on the moon. But very good guess.
Yeah.
Could have been.
I think it's the double-headed dog from the Squadron episode, right?
Yeah.
It is. Great. Wow. There's some real. It is the double-headed dog from. It's mentioned in one of the books, Daring Do, I believe, where she's fighting one of those dogs off. But wow, I'm impressed. I actually didn't think anyone would.
It's also just a creature from mythology, so that's where many people can know it. Greek mythology talks about the Orthros at some point.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's the Cerberus. 3-headed is Cerberus, 2-headed is Orthros.
You know, exactly right. Alright, I'll continue on with our villains. We have this lovely lady.
I reread the comic yesterday.
You read this one yesterday?
Yeah, I reread a few comics like yesterday and the day before. So
Well, you don't actually need to have read the comics to know this one. Does anyone recognize her right away, which might be related to? Okay, I give a little hint. In G4, she's depicted in the book. There's one episode where it actually shows in the book top right. Generation 1, he was the guy on the bottom right. I gotta give someone else. It's better if someone has absolutely no idea.
Seeing this, I would guess Mother of T-Rex.
Mother of T-Rex, that is correct. Why would you think that?
Well, I'm not sure what his name was, but he was a T-Rex spotter, and is a female character, and there's definitely a similarity. So
You know,
that would be the most likely conclusion here.
Yeah, no, it's actually the mother of both. Her name's Queen Haven.
Scorpion, that was his name.
Yeah, Scorpion. Yeah, it's the lady is Queen Haven. She always thought that her lovely son T-Rex was very gifted with magic. His dad was a bit more fragile. Yes, he's very gifted, but T-Rex has a bit of a corrupt mind. He's a bit of a wacko in that sense. So he was more powerful than anyone else in the castle. His dad found it dangerous, but his mother was very loving and supporting. But his power for thirst was actually what made his dad really afraid of T-Rex. You do know the name of his father, anyone?
I think it was King Borwag.
Yeah, it's for a guy. Even you have to think for 1 second.
Yeah.
That means we're going to very, very obscure territory.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
Fantabus
great.
magic is just it's mentioned like once, so
Yeah, no, King Vorak and Queen Hayden are indeed parents. The brother Scorpion is he is depicted in season 4. I've wrote it down. Season 4. Yeah, in the storybook that Celestia reads. So it's not only on comics; it's also in the show. But yeah, that Our Lady is indeed the mother of Tyrek. With more villains. Yeah, the holes in Celestia. I always call her Celestia.
That's a good fun fact.
But the holes in Chrysalis. How did she get up? Like accident in Tartarus, attacked by a dragon. And she's born with it. Rejected by the Storm King, and then the Storm King got pretty pissed. Anyone? You don't know too much. There's someone like completely
I read
wrong.
not many comics, but I read Frenemies, which comes in handy with these questions.
Go ahead.
I'm not. I think it's hurts. It's Celestia, but I'm not really sure. It's. I think she attacked an Earth Pony Kingdom and was damaged or hurt, and these are scars. But I'm not sure if Celestia defended the Earth Pony Kingdom.
You're close, but not Earth Pony.
Okay.
But you are right. It's Celestia gave her the lovely holes we all see in the show. Before I go on, the rejection by Storm King is actually not that far-fetched. Yeah. I hope you can't read it. It's too small. But Chrysalis does have a minute connection to the Storm King. Anyone want to guess? Could it, I'm looking at you. You're looking very scared. Oh. The other one looking scaring away. Yeah, you. No! No! Don't try to pass it off. Chrysalis and Storm King. What do they share in common? How do they meet? What do they make something up? Make us laugh, or make it interesting. You seen the movie?
No, she didn't.
She don't know who the Storm King is.
She knows everything about warrior cats, but not about.
Well, maybe you can chime in.
I have no idea. I know everything about corals, but not about My Little Pony. So,
all right. Well, our expert in.
I'm actually not entirely sure about this one. It's been a while since I read the story with the Storm King, but I remember the meeting at some point, but I am not entirely sure about the story around that.
They finally found something.
Yeah.
That even you were like vaguely recalling. They didn't actually meet, or that's not explicit, but they find the Storm King's diary in one of the storylines, and scribbled in the inside, which you cannot barely see on the purple, he has like little hearts around Chrysalis. He's like my love, and he had a secret crush on.
It's implied that they met.
It's implied that they met, and Storm King actually has a secret crush on Chrysalis. So it wasn't that far-fetched if you thought it was the Storm King. It was not, the holes were not from attacking Earth Pony country, but she actually invaded a sky, let's see if I wrote it down, Timbuktu. They call the sky city, they call it Timbuktu. Chrysalis, without holes and a whole lot younger, actually raids that city, as she and her herd does. After feasting on the inhabitants for a while, she eventually Celestia arrives and blasts her full of the holes which she has to live with for the rest of her life. So, big of an anticlimax, but there you go. That's how she got the Swiss cheese. On a side note, in that city she sees the king wearing a crown. And that's the point where she's like, hey, that's pretty neat, as a ruler to wear a crown thingy, that's cool. I'm going to do that too, so she steals the crown. I always thought that the antennas on Chrysalis' head were just part of her body. Please tell me I'm not the only one.
It looks like it.
Thank you. No, it's a crown, she can take it off.
It's designed like that, and the comics then added this little bit that it's actually a crown that she can put on. But the original design is that it's part of her body. So it's an understandable.
Originally designed as her
it's
body,
an understandable mistake to make.
When she just takes it off, it kind of blew my mind. It feels so weird. They're taking part of your head just off and walking away with it. But I'm glad I'm not the only one who Yeah, that was. Yes, I'm glad I'm not the only one who thought it was part of her body. Oh, all right. Let's go back to. We're about a third on the way, and about a third to our topics. So, I don't think we can do them all. But if anyone has any bats, I hear bats. We started with Jane, also probably well known. Everybody has a pet in Mount Pony, right? They all got pets and things around. We know that Celestia has her phoenix.
Philomena.
Philomena, thank you. But Luna, at one point, is like, well, I don't have a pet, I want a pet. So she just sets out to get one. What does she end up with?
I think it was the opossum, if I'm correct. You know.
Yeah, you know the name of the opossum?
Oh hell no.
Oh, it says there. It's Tiberius. Yeah, I especially put Tiberius in the name because that's like usually in mythology bears are called something with Tiberius too. So I was hoping to trick someone thinking it might be a bear, but it's not. No, she actually picks up an opossum.
Trash mammal.
I see that only 3 people read the comics, but by just thinking about it a bit, you all keep getting to the right.
I haven't read the comic, but it's on some cover arts. There's also Philomena, Celestia, Luna, and Tiberius placed, and it's pretty obvious that the opossum is Luna's pet. And if you don't have read the comic, you've only seen the cover art.
Yeah, no, it is. Hey, there's more than one way to find out, right? Well, now you know what's behind the cover art as well, a little bit. I hope. You know, someday she was just looking to adopt, I quote, a fellow creature of the night. She was looking for a nocturnal animal, obviously. She went out to the woods to find a new comrade for herself. And she liked the owl bear, but she was afraid of copyright issues. It's in the book. Bats she loved as well, but they were too cliche, too expected, like, oh, I'm Princess of the Night, I have a bat as a pet. So she's like, it's too cliche, let's not do that. Skunk was too smelly. And a mole would know, because moles have famously bad eyesight, she was like, well, I'm so pretty, I want at least a pet to, see how pretty I am. So I'm not going to go with the mole. And she ends up with the little opossum. And the opossum liked her as well, from the start on, so that was a great match. Now a little juicier one. One of the pets from the main 6 was actually pitched to die by Tom Sowers, who's a comic book writer. Anyone know?
I have a guess.
Guess, okay.
Yeah. But remembering the episode Thanks for the Memory, I think that maybe it was Thanks and they later put this idea into an episode.
It's really well thought, but it was not Thanks. But it is. I mean, we've skipped the point part by like half an hour ago, I think. But I would give you definitely points for that. So, and he was first. Sorry.
Okay. I think it was Philomena because they tried to do an episode about mourning death, but at the end they decided it was too hard to really let her die. I think I heard that.
Close, but we're still not quite there. But I'm finally happy to have a question. And it was like, yeah, that's that from that and the thing and the. Yeah, you were next.
Yeah,
sorry.
I always heard about Chrysalis killing a cat, so it's this one.
We're narrowing down, but no, it's not. Opalescence. Next one.
I also can only guess. I would guess Tiberius since it's the only comic book character, and I think it's killing of the main character from the show is maybe more problematic than killing of the comic book character.
Again, great thought process. I would have given it a point, but now we're down to a 50-50. this is beating statistics right here.
I'm gonna guess Angel Bunny because he's annoying.
Yes! It's like literally the only one that nobody thought was killed off. Did you know it?
Yeah.
You met him at...
he talked about that at GalaCon, so I knew about that. At his panel he mentioned that.
Yeah, no.
I wouldn't have known about the panel.
It is Gummy. Actually, there is a story about he wanted to kill Gummy off because Pinkie Pie is like the ultimate party planner, and he was like, oh, how interesting would it be to make her plan the impossible party, a funeral for her own pet. That would be like, he was like, that's going to be so interesting to make a story about, right? That she has to plan, the party planner has to plan the impossible party. And Hasbro was like, yeah, we can't, that's too heavy to deal with. We're not going to do that, but he got something similar in exchange. One of her relatives, they changed the story into that one of Pinkie Pie's relatives goes off to college in some really far away district on an island where you can't really come, and only boat goes once or twice a year, and basically you cannot see her, write her, talk to her for a really long time. And then Pinkie Pie has to plan her goodbye party, which she does not want to do. She doesn't want it. She feels like if I throw this party, then it's final, then you're really going away out of my life. I don't want that. So they kept that idea, but just slightly less extreme than straight up killing Gummy. But Salad wasn't only mean to Pinkie Pie. He didn't just want to see her suffer. He also really liked the idea of cheese, because in the end, he was kind of bothered by, in the end of season 10, they show like Cheese and Pinkie are together, right? They have kids, they have everything. But the show in season 9 somewhat ends with them just being normal friends. And he really wrote some stories about what happened in between. Like how did they met up, how did they become better friends, how did they become, lovers in the end. Again, if you want to know more about the details of the story, I'm not going to go through the entire thing, but that's what his panel is for tomorrow. I'm going to talk about it. So Salar is not just mean, he didn't just want to kill off Pinkie's pet to make her suffer, although he does admit that he loves writing tear-jerking stories and making, the reader feel bad. He also wrote how Pinkie and Cheese got together. So that's it for pets. Anything?
I would like to see elements.
The elements? Sure. Starting with a kind of different concept. Instead of a multiple choice. The Tree of Harmony was a magical tree that held the elements of harmony. It was located in the Cave of Harmony, F3 Forest, near Princess Celestia and Princess Luna's old castle. Center of the tree had a star-shaped like Twilight Sparkle's cutie mark, while Celestia and Luna's cutie mark were also on the trunk. It was destroyed by King Sombra, but then reformed into the Treehouse of Harmony. What's wrong with this? And you have bonus points if you start your answer with actually. Anyone will take a stab at what's not quite right about it. I will just randomly point at someone if you don't speak up.
Ja, die zonder haar. Ja. Dat is een vleeskaakje.
They want to pick me again.
Okay. But you have no idea what the hell could be, right? There are some ones that you do more.
Yeah, I know.
You can do it. You can do it. What's wrong? It's a bit of a nitpick, I admit, but
I've never heard of the Treehouse of Harmony, so
that's not the right way to start. I'll look at our expert then. You can be nitpicky. Oh no, I see someone behind you. What's it like?
I think Sombra had nothing to do with this. Wasn't this Chrysalis?
I get it now. He does destroy it in one of the episodes, so that's not what I'm going for. But
I don't know if that's what you're going for, but actually it says the Tree of Harmony, but it's only one of the trees.
There we go.
Is that what you're going for?
Yeah, that was exactly what I'm going for. I'm impressed. No, it says the Tree of Harmony, and then all the events did unfold in the show and books and everything. But there's not one Tree of Harmony. There's, I believe, 6 of them?
I think it was 6, yeah.
No, 5. No, there's 5 trees of harmony and 6 elements. Yeah. 6 sets of elements.
Okay, I'm not gonna...
No, I will be, in 1 second you can do your shit.
Okay.
And actually not in 1 second. The element groups, I'm not going to ask you to name all the elements, but the family of elements.
Yeah, we have a few. The one that the Caninians, the dog people, they are not on there right now. They had the few of like a big family, I think, with family relations. Yeah.
That's the group
left
on the
one?
right, you mean?
The group on the left. Oh, the left for me.
Sorry, you're... No,
The
mine.
Caninians. The Ornithians had some kind of... The Ornithians had like love relationships between couples. That's on the right. The Ornithians. What were the... I don't actually remember what kind of other like every tree depicts a kind of bond between the holders. The tree that we know is friendship. Some other trees that we know are family bonds and love bonds between the Ornithians. But I'm not too sure about the other ones right now. So.
Yeah, so we've got the elements of harmony, which is the ones that we know. The elements in Pantheria was the elements of purpose, I believe. Now, cats have the elements of purpose. The Knights of Harmony, which is a whole different, like, go to a spell. It's like a complete, they call it season 10 for a reason. But they have the elements of patriotism.
That's what it was.
The dogs, they have the elements of family, like you said. Elements of history is for where Skora's little home country, and Ornithia is in the elements of love. And then of course there are the sub-elements of it, where that's going to be a bit, seem the time. No. Yeah, but they just want to note on the elements still. They call it's the last series of books. It's called Season 10. It really just picks up after where Season 9, before the epilogue, but where they're still
after
young.
episode 25 of Season 9. Like everything that happens after the fight with T-Rex, Chrysalis, and Cozy.
Yeah, exactly. Storyline kind of focuses out on the main characters and starts to see the whole world. It's not that well received actually for that reason, but anyhow, on to the next.
Family and relations.
Family and relations. Another fan favorite, this little lady. You know who she is and who she's related to. Anyone take a stab at it? You can just guess.
You chose a picture where you can't really tell that it's her.
It is her.
Yeah, you can see that it's her,
planets, everything.
but like it's not her main design that she shows up in.
No, it's before she materializes.
But I think it's a little evil to people who haven't read it.
No, that makes more fun, right? You can take a guess. I will just point at that little. Just guess, will you? No, he's looking. Yeah, you. Who could she possibly be?
Cosmos.
And she's related to Discord in what way?
Ex-girlfriend.
Hey, you've read the comics or just lucky guess?
I bought the comics but haven't read it.
But you did know this?
I did notice.
It is indeed the ex-girlfriend. This is the main design you were talking about in a second ago. Now this is the ex-girlfriend of Discord. He had actual relations in the past. I spoiled it already, but hopefully someone blinked. There's one of these names that is actually also a film. Most of these names were made up. You know what the Pleiades are? The Pleiades?
Greek mythology, yeah.
No, they got it from. Well, did they get it from? Oh, we're stepping way out of My Little Pony here. It's probably Greek mythology and it's a group of star clusters in astronomy. And then
okay, yeah, the star clusters came from mythology.
Yeah, they came from mythology.
Like the Pleiades are a kind of creature in Greek mythology, and the astrologists like to name stuff after mythology
Yeah,
things. I mean, look at the planets. Okay, but that's not the point of this panel.
That's nothing. And I was going to ask, but I was a bit too quick, like which of these is an actual character. Milky Way is an actual character. I'm not going to talk about that. That's a G5 villain who just... Is it finished yet?
It's not finished yet.
Okay. I read halfway, and then...
I think it was she appeared in the last 2 comic issues of the main series of G5. We don't know much about her, except that she is like another all-powerful wishing well being that grants wishes. But that's basically all we know.
Right. Oh, back to the question. So Discord had an ex-girlfriend actually. They met when Cosmos was just zooming through the sky, not the sky, the galaxy. Accidentally crashed in his private chaos relation. It's shown in the show, right? Discord has his own little dimension of whatever it is. She just crashed there accidentally, just straight up through. How she did it, she does it. She immediately feels quite at home at his chaotic dimension. But where Discord is like a creature of chaos, Cosmos is depicted as the creature of madness and malice. And Discord likes to prank everybody, but after a while they start pranking everybody and the whole MLP universe together. But since Cosmos is more like malicious and more evil, the pranks kind of grow out of hand. And that's how Discord got such a bad name, because he got blamed for like half of the thing they did. Mm-hmm. And it's what's also led him eventually to get turned into stone, which was not entirely his own fault, but basically because he teamed up with a crazy girlfriend. Extremely abusive relationship, by the way. Cosmos really violently forces Discord at some point to just do as she wants. It starts by just pressuring, like, I'm your girlfriend, you just do this is fun, right? But after a while, when Discord feels like, okay, this is getting out of control, I want out, she starts to actually force him and use violence and use her magic to make him do his bidding. Eventually, Celestia and the leaders of all the main tribes team up together to seal his crazy ex-girlfriend away again. And they manage to banish her. And I think this makes, and I'm staring a bit with a lab one eye to our expert, I think this makes Cosmos canonly the strongest, most powerful being introduced in the universe.
Strongest character we know.
So far.
We can assume that Discord is equally as powerful, but his intentions are chaotic and not malicious. That's why she uses that power for more. So, yeah, you can call her stronger than Discord in that sense.
Yeah, but Discord was not even capable of stopping her after he's like, okay, this is done.
Yeah, that's true, but that was already after she both of these are creatures that gain power from concepts. The more chaotic it gets, the more powerful Discord gets, and the more malicious and destructive it gets, the more powerful gets Cosmos. And at that point where he tried to stop her, she already, the world was already in complete malice, and she overpowered him because of that.
Yeah, true. But it does make her at least as powerful in that sense as Discord. Okay, a little bit back to the present, because the story doesn't end there. They sealed his crazy ex, and that's the end of it. This is actually in the past. This is before Discord gets turned into stone and gets blamed for everything. Rarity finds a nice gem back in the present. Rarity finds on the flea market some pretty gem. She gifts it to Twilight, and the gem immediately starts talking to her to start finding the gems, find the fragments. This leads to a series of events where, now this is another fun one, Blank ends up kissing one, and Blank punches someone in the face. I already can give away that the recipients is the same character, so we're looking for 3 characters. Mm-hmm. Who gets kissed and punched in the face by who? Who wants to take a gander about how searching for some elements, for some crystals, sorry, not elements, leads to?
I don't know. Take a guess.
I have no idea.
That's the best. I'll make a guess. It's better if you don't know. It's better if you can make up a story. Like, how does that lead to? If you can make something up, I'm happy with that too.
Spike gives us reality and then Dwight punches Spike in the face.
Really well done. That makes a lot of sense. It's not what ends up happening.
Yeah.
But that's great. I mean, it makes story-wise sense as well, right? Yeah, no, it's actually a quite unlikely series of events. They do end up looking for more crystals for, more fragments. And at some point they gather enough fragments that Cosmos, who is trapped in these fragments, gains enough power to take over the minds of the princesses. A big fight breaks out where it's actually Big Mac who ends up getting punched by Celestia, and as a distraction, Luna starts to smooch him. This is one of the best in the comics if you just want to look for something fun. This entire fight scene, it's not just Big Mac, there's Pinky, there's everyone, they're just fighting off the princesses with bare hands, with underhand tactics. If you just want to see the main cast fight, it's really funny animated. But this is just one of the things that happens. So Big Mac gets to be, doesn't really know what's happening. He gets punched by Celestia in one frame. I believe Pinkie Pie ends up biting Celestia's hair at some point, just hanging on Celestia's mane.
Yeah,
it's really great.
You see a bite mark on Celestia.
I don't know if that's Pinkie, because Pinkie's in her hair, but at some point, if the Rainbow Dash kicks, it's really nice. Look it up.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the bite mark came from.
That's another little thing I noticed. There are a lot of Celestia kissing Big Mac jokes.
Luna.
Not just with Luna, sorry. Luna, I cannot.
Big Mac is a stud in the comics, what can I say?
It must be, but especially Luna. It's always a joke with Luna. It's not no one else. It's always Luna.
That's the only one that actually kisses him. But
that's the only one that actually kisses him.
But in the same story where this picture comes from, he two other mares get interested in him.
The Wonderbolt one, right? The Wonderbolt girl.
Yeah, Fleetfoot. Fleetfoot, and then a comic exclusive character called T-Love.
Yeah, it's just something I noticed that the only one who actually is drawn, giving kisses to Big Mac is always Luna for some reason. I don't know if you want to have some crazy fan theories about that, but
I ship it.
Just ship it. Well, at the very end, the story can't end there. At the very end, they do manage to defeat her, send her back. Discord goes full Ghostbusters on Cosmos, and eventually does send her back to outer space. And we have, if you're on the topic of Discord, he's really an interesting character. Imagine they wanted to write him off after season 2, I believe, but they kept him because we got another. He's related to a lot of really cool characters. So we have another. His another ex-girlfriend, childhood friend, sister, mother, niece. I'm gonna take a stab. Yes, in the back.
I think it's Princess Ares.
You got the name correct.
And it is a childhood friend.
Close. No, it's not childhood friend. No, we actually know it doesn't matter. The actual answer, it's mine. It's Princess Ares, but it is his niece. I mean, she's introducing herself as the niece. I see someone going.
Yeah, I mean, didn't she introduce herself as his cousin?
Okay, yeah, sorry.
It was cousin, not niece, if I remember correctly.
Well, if he is her cousin, then she is his niece, right?
No, cousin and
it's a
cousin relation. Cousins are both ways. So niece would be if she was the daughter of his sister, I think. That would be niece.
Yeah, that's the generation gap, right? Okay, then.
There is no generation gap between them. They are both.
There's no generation. Then I stand corrected. Then they are cousins, not the niece. Then they're cousins.
Yeah.
With a nice picture of Daybreaker behind. So Ares, Discord's cousin. She's from one of the mirror dimensions. They also explore that a lot more in the books, where the mirrors are only used for the Equestrian Girls movies, right? In the comics, there are many other uses for it. Do you recognize the staff she's holding here? Anyone?
Stalking.
It is the staff of
Sakanas.
Sakanas, thank you. Yeah, I had it. Staff Sakanas. It's the same staff as Storm King, and she wields it in in the mirror dimension. She uses it to steal Luna's power. She's also a creature of chaos, but her idea of chaos is a bit different than Discord, just because like pranks and silliness. She really defines chaos as imbalance. She likes to see a region or a world or a country to be not to be unbalanced. So she steals Luna's powers, she tries to sell it off to the highest bidder, and then she's like, well, surely if some king or queen or whomever buys this, will use Luna's power, it will become one giant mess of chaos, that country. Can't go, right? But she's introduced as one of the bad guys in the comics, but because that her idea of chaos, like imbalance, if there's terror reigning somewhere, she's not necessarily a bad guy. She could also then introduce some harmony or some good guys to the equation. Because some countries ruled by evil, then there's no chaos. It's just ruled by evil. If there's things are in balance or just out of balance, that's when things are most chaotic. So she's not purely evil or good, although in the comics she's depicted as the bad guy. Yeah, we do have time for one or two more. Maybe we could do them all. We have past and designs left. If no one has a fit, past designs is so cool. Now get over the past. Hey, I'm here for you, right? Maybe there's time for both. We used to be afraid of water.
Rarity klinkt logisch.
Rarity?
Ja.
Why?
Omdat ze alles netjes en schoon wil houden.
It's recorded, so English.
Because she wants to keep everything pristine and nice, and I think water will screw it up, like screw up her makeup and stuff.
Yeah, that's good idea, but not whose backstory it is that she was afraid of water. Anyone else? Fluttershy?
Because she was afraid of...
She was afraid of everything. That's the thing. Yeah. Okay, no. That's not Fluttershy either. Hopefully we get another Rainbow Dash.
Rainbow Dash, yeah.
Because?
Because that would be something unique from her backstory for her, since she's somebody that always wants to show that she's best in everything.
That would be cool, right? Show's cool, you know.
Story-wise, it'd be interesting and she'd be afraid of that.
Actually, it would be cool. It's not who they introduce it to, but it would be a really cool story, like the one who's always cool and...
I mean, there is a story like that, but not this one.
Not this one. Okay, hopefully we get another situation where
maybe Applejack, something with her parents, if they fleshed out that in the backstory.
You have first correct, but not the backstory. It could have been. There's a lot of unexplored room in the backstory for parents, but it is Applejack. She, as a filly, fell in a well. What can I say? She works on a farm. They obviously have a water well. She fell in, and she got rescued. But from that point on, she kind of, felt iffy about water. Didn't really dare to go in any deeper than that she could stand. The story resolves with that her brother, Big Mac, goes swimming. There's a terrible storm. He's almost drowning, and that's when she overcomes her fear of water to go rescue her big brother. So that's, in a nutshell, what happens there. Another fun one is past. We all know Sakura. She always speaks in rhyme, but I don't think the show ever explains why,
nope.
Right? Anyone, take a guess for... If I had known that we had do it in this format, I wouldn't even have given you the multiple choice answers. It would be much more fun to have you guess. Does anyone make a stab at it? What would make sense?
Cursed.
Cursed. I can see that when she works with potions and magic, it's all like African and voodoo, and so cursed makes sense, but it's not the reason why. It's on the other hand.
No particular reason.
Sorry?
No reason at all.
No particular reason, she just likes it. Yeah. I mean, it would have been a trick question, right? So, but that's not it.
I would have a seventh answer from the fan fiction, which I like. It's part of a technique to remember stuff.
Oh, like a mental shortcut to remember things. I guess you could, although it would make it really difficult if you were to speak in rhyme in the moment. You don't really want to remember everything you say. Well, you spoil the...
I can if you want.
Yeah, sure. I think we've ran out of...
Yeah, it's the one because magic starts seem to rhyme and stuff. Because like she saw like she read about magic spells and stuff in her youth, especially about Mage Meadowbrook actually, the one pillar that we know of, and just thought, shamans and magicians, people with potions, they speak in rhyme, so I'm just gonna do that now.
Yeah, exactly. In all the books, it's always like in fairy tales, it's always magic spells are rhyming, and so she read about it a lot, and that's why she keeps Joan speaks in rhyme from that point on, because they do in her home country learn about alicorns and unicorns, but those are mythical creatures, right? They don't exist, or maybe they don't even exist. And so, of course, like, no, screw you guys, I'm gonna do magic, and I'm gonna do it my own way. So she educates herself in magic, and that's how she ended up always speaking in rhyme. I think we can just within the hour finish up the final category.
I want to stay, but I need to go to the signing session. I'm gonna head out to the signing session.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. And his panel is tomorrow if you want to learn more about the comics, more in depth on the stories.
If anything that was talked about here interests you and you want to know more about it, just at my panel tell me tomorrow and I'm gonna go into detail as much as you want. Bye!
See ya. Alright, we're going to designs. Lauren Faust, her sketchbooks. Too bad he just left, because I'm sure he does not know these things. He read all the comic books, but he doesn't know. There's also like the leaked sketchbooks of Lauren Faust, and there's some fun facts in those books, and I don't think he read those. So he left at the right moment to keep his ticket. Anyone?
The first one, the pentagram?
I'll say that.
Yeah, most people agree.
Since smart is the first one that divides, I would say maybe this is a symbol of wisdom.
Yeah,
would make sense.
Even though it was rather complicated for good enough.
Yeah, it would actually be. No, he was right. It is the pentagram.
But probably because of like satanic and stuff like that, they moved away from it.
Yeah, no, you can see her drawn in the original sketches with one of the things, and I don't know if it's on this sheet, but she says for her pentagram, Lauren Faust has like a little note that between the pentagram, like they're never gonna let me do that. But then another we did this before. Actually, because Princess in the notes about the concepts of Twilight, which she was conceived, it says. Princess Celestia sees she has raw talent, but she's still learning how to master unicorn magic. Whereas most unicorns can only do one type of magic. She has the potential to do limitless magic if only she can pass her self-doubt. That was a quote from the original concepts of Twilight. But there's not quite right with that sentence, with that statement. Anyone, any part. We're talking about the very early concepts of design. If you don't know, just make something up. I don't believe we've heard you right.
I don't know. I think that Celestia wasn't called like this all the time.
She wasn't?
I think there was a different name for Celestia at the beginning.
She was supposed to be a queen.
Yeah, bonus, that's the one I was looking for. It's like, well, actually, it wasn't Princess Celestia, it was the Queen. She was originally conceived to be a queen, but Disney kind of ruined queens because we have the evil queen and all kinds of stories. The queen's always evil, have you noticed? That's also why it's Queen Chrysalis, but Princess Luna, Celestia, etc. They originally made her the queen, but eventually they changed it in the design process to princess because that sounds much more friendly, much more lovely. Okay, from the movie. We see people. No, we still have time. From the movie, Klutschtown. The original design. You ever know Klutschtown from the movie? Like the Western evil, not evil, like the rough Western city of where all those Yes, it was actually originally the completely different design. Anyone have a guess on?
I think it was intended to be a harvesting site of some kind of creature.
That is great. You read the books as well?
And I saw it posted in a thread. They posted pictures of some early designs or something like that.
Yeah, they posted this one.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, they wanted Klutschtown to be like centered around a big spike where a legendary creature, big dragon, had died, and they would build, like you said, a harvesting city, right? A big miners city around it. Where they would harvest its crystallized heart. Eventually, they found that was a bit too much for the MLP universe, but they originally wanted Klutschtown to be like that, and they had many more designs. Because when designing the city, they kind of wanted it to be like the opposite of Canterlot. Canterlot has pretty princess-like, almost round shapes. They wanted this town to be rough and edged and way darker. So they made all kinds of shoddy patchwork houses and things. And when coming up with these concepts, the art team was actually unrestricted to the MLP universe. They were just giving they saw the script of the movie. They were like, okay, we want this town, and it's going to be in this and this part of the movie. Go nuts! You don't need to be like, it's got to be suited for children. It's got to be suited for that My Little Pony universe. They just got complete artistic freedom, and that's how they got. The sketches for the innkeepers were supposed to be the innkeeper for one of the inns. They were later then toned down to be more in style with the MLP movie and with the rest of the universe. But there's some actually really cool concept art going on. If you're interested in this, it's not in the comics, but there are, just Google for the art books. They actually talk about it a lot. We have one as I'm just looking at the time. Yeah, no, we have to wrap up. I think we got everything except for one question, which wasn't more about the designs. But I think I have to wrap it up, given that it's been 1 hour. Oh. I have to say thank you, everybody. I hope it was interesting. I hope you learned something. If you want to know more, go to the Panic Comic comic panel of Anubis. Is tomorrow at, I believe, 1 o'clock. He can probably tell you more about it, and I think it's about time for the next thing. But thank you very much for being here. I hope it was entertaining. I hope it was fun. I hope you learned something. Nerd.